calling them my better than mall sugar cookie sprinkle covered pretzel nuggets. And for those that's watching through MARKET.live, we will be showing the recipe on the screen. And for those of you on my Instagram live, you can get the recipe on tinazaccardi.com, and it's under snacks, under my recipes. So, hey, everybody. Hey, Amanda. I've got a bunch of people already joining. It's terrific. So we're going to get started, and we're going to make our pretzel dough first. We have 170 grams of bread flour, and that's going to give you that nice chewy pretzel texture. In here, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. We're going to add a teaspoon and a quarter of some yeast, a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And this is such a simple recipe, not a lot of ingredients. We also have some melted butter, unsalted. And we're adding a half a cup of warm water to this. And that's it. So far, so good, right? Pretty easy. So we're going to mix this up with a spatula. We're using the spatula anyway, and this way we don't have to dirty the paddle attachment on our mixer. So it's one less thing to clean. And we're going to mix this up until we don't see any more flour in this bowl. And we're just about there. Okay, we're going to just scrape off any excess that's on here. And I'm going to stick it on my mixer. And we're going to use the dough hook. And this is for kneading. For any of you that has your mixer and it's like, what is this? This is your dough hook. And it's great for kneading breads and doughs that need to be kneaded. So we're going to stick this on our mixer.
Susie says, "Ooh, I love your show and I'm hungry, LOL."
Oh, we've got,
says,
I think it was
mall pretzels, hoping these will be better.
So we've got a couple of comments from people on MARKET.live. Let's see. What is she making? Okay, so I am making sugar cookie crumb and sprinkle crusted pretzel nuggets. They are just like the ones you get at the mall, but better. So I'm going to put this about medium speed, and we are going to let this go for about 10 to 12 minutes. Yes, 10 to 12 minutes. Because what that will do is we're going to develop the gluten. We're going to get that flour hydrated, well, the liquid we put in there, and it's going to get the dough nice and smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this off to the side. And while that's going, we are going to make the crumb topping, which is just like the best part. So we're going to start with some all-purpose flour, and we're going to add some granulated sugar, a quarter teaspoon of salt, get that sweet and salty thing going, which I absolutely love. And to that, we are going to add some browned butter. And it gives it this really wonderful, nutty flavor to these cookie crumbs. It's just delicious. So I've browned butter before on a couple of shows back to make some cookies. And what you do is you put it in a pan, put it about medium heat, let the butter start to bubble and pop. And when you start hearing that, it means that the water in the butter is starting to evaporate. And once it gets silent and you don't hear that anymore, you want to start mixing and scraping the bottom of the pot with a spatula, because you want to keep those milk solids moving around, because those are what's going to brown and give that brown butter that beautiful flavor that it has. But you don't want them to burn, so you want to keep them moving. And this is my brown butter right here. You can see that beautiful brown color on the bottom from all those milk solids. We're going to give this a quick whisk before we put the butter in. And I'm going to shut the mixer off now so you guys can hear me. So I'm going to take my brown butter and we're going to just pour it right in there. And you can see all those little brown bits. You want to get every single one of them because that's where the flavor is. And we're just going to mix this together. I like to use a fork because you want it to get a little bit crumbly, and the fork really does a good job with that.
Sarah says, "Ooh, love brown butter."
Right?
Thank you so much for the recipe.
You're welcome. So I think it was Tara just commented how she loves brown butter.
Yes.
And she's so happy that she's got the recipe. So yeah, tinazaccardi.com, or you can, if you're watching on MARKET.live, it's on the screen right now. Let's see, I'm just looking to see if we have anybody else commenting. I know I have to keep looking. So we are mixing this up. There we go. As you can see, they're starting to form crumbs. And depending on what kind of butter you use, it may be a little more pasty. If your butter has a higher water content, they'll be a little bit drier because all that water is going to evaporate and you'll be left with less liquid. So there we go. We have our crumbs. And we're going to take these crumbs and I'm going to place them and spread them out on a parchment lined baking sheet. Just like that. Everybody can see that. And we're going to spread them out. And these are kind of going to get baked twice. What we're going to do is we're going to put them in a 325-degree oven for about 14, 15, 16 minutes, depending on the heat of your oven. And they're going to start to bake. And about halfway through, you want to go in and start maybe breaking up some of these crumbles. And then when you take them out, you don't want them to be too brown because they're going to bake again on the pretzels. So when they come out, they might be a little bit soft. Let them cool completely, okay? Right here. So we'll pretend they've come out of the oven. All right, so we've done our dough. It's ready. We are going to place it. Oh, there we go. Let me get that dough out of here. Okay, so we've got our dough. And we're just going to pretend that it's been going for about 10 or 12 minutes and it's smooth. But you can already see that it's starting to pull away from the side of the bowl, which is a really good sign. And we're just going to take a scraper and take it out. We're going to place it in a greased bowl. You can either use butter or a little baking spray. I'm going to put that right in there. Cover it with plastic. And we're going to let it rest and rise for about 45 minutes to an hour until it's doubled in size. And that's going to get set aside. And I happen to have some over here that I've already made right here. And we're going to take this out. And we're going to take just a little bit of flour. Where's my extra flour? There it is. My extra flour. And we're going to just sprinkle your counter with this. And then we're going to take our scraper and we're going to take this dough out. Now, I've had this in the fridge since this morning. It did its first rise and I just shoved it in the fridge to hold it until we were ready to use it. And that's perfectly fine for you guys to do that too. There we go. And I'm going to need a ruler and I'm going to need my bench scraper. And we're just going to kind of press it into a square. And we're going to cut it into 4 parts. It doesn't have to be exact. I know I weigh a lot of things, but this is okay. The nuggets all don't have to be exactly the same size. So I'm going to work with one piece at a time. And I'm going to take this, kind of press it out a little, and then I'm going to start to roll it. Everybody can see that. Not working with the overhead camera today because my phone's being used for the Instagram Live. So we are going to start to roll this out. And it may spring back a little, so you roll it out as much as you can, and then you can let it just sit, and then move on to the next one. And you can just keep doing all 4 until they're all done. And by the time you get back to the first one, it should be nice and relaxed, so you can just roll it out. And actually, chilling the dough makes it easier for you to roll it too. Okay, we're going to roll these to about 12 inches long. There we go. Oh, that one's good. We're going to roll the next one. Okay. And I'm going to get some water boiling because we are going to dunk these guys in a solution of water and baking soda to give it that nice pretzely brown color. And I'm going to just turn this on and we're going to get that boiling. And we've got one more to go. There we go. And again, we're just going to roll it out. Okay. So I'm going to get a sheet pan that's lined with parchment paper. This is a half sheet pan. MARKET.live does have a half sheet pan that I think the guys are going to show you right now. And I'm going to take one of the ropes, and you want it to be the same width all the way across. And I'm going to measure it out. And your bench scraper is the perfect thing for cutting these. You don't need a knife. It just is so easy to do. We're going to throw away the ends. And then we're going to cut each rope into 8 pieces. There we go. And then we're going to place them on parchment lined baking sheet.
Cindy says, love your show, learning so much.
Hey, Cindy. Thank you so much. Okay. And we're going to take the next one and we're going to roll it out. And when you're rolling it out, make sure that you don't have any flour where you're rolling it out, because what happens is it'll start to slide and it won't roll. It's getting a little thick at one end, just do that. And that's actually about 12 inches. Just need to do that a little more to get it even. All right, and then we're going to cut this one into 8 pieces as well. And there we have half of them done. You're going to get 32 altogether. And we're just going to put these off to the side for now. So we're going to get this boiling. We're going to wait for this to boil. So when this boils, we are going to throw in 2 tablespoons of baking soda into the boiling water. And it'll work just the same way as a lye solution, but the food grade lye can be very caustic and can be a little dangerous. And if you want to make these with the kids, you don't want them anywhere near that. And the baking soda is a good substitute for that. So what we're going to do is, this is just about starting to boil. So I'm going to throw in the baking soda. And we're just going to stir that around. Okay. And when those crumbs come out of the oven and they've sat a while, they're going to look like this. And there might be some bigger clumps. You want to break them up. Okay. And then we're going to add our sprinkles right to the crumbs. We've got 1/3 cup of the Jimmy sprinkles, the long ones. And you can use, again, any color you like. I'm using multicolored. And I'm going to mix them together. And I still have some big crumbs, which I'm going to break apart with my fingers. There we go. Oh, we've got a couple other people that have joined. Hey, guys. All right. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to give these guys a little bath in the baking soda and water solution. And I'm going to do about 6 at a time. So I'm going to just move this over so you guys can see as well. And I'm just going to throw them right in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we'll do 6 at a time. Just kind of stir them around a little. And I like to leave them in there for maybe 10 or 15 seconds, not much longer. Okay. And then we're going to take them out. Make sure you drain them. You want them to still be a little wet so your crumbs stick. And we're going to throw them right in there. And we're going to toss them around with the sprinkles. And to make sure they are fully coated. I'm going to show you what these look like. Okay. And here we have one of the nuggets that's been coated with the sprinkles. And we're going to place them just back on the pan. There we go. And what's going to happen is the cookie crumbs are going to get nice and brown and crispier, and you're going to get that little bit of a that darker pretzel-y color on these. There we go. Now I'm going to throw in a couple more. And we're going to do it again. And you continue and you do them until all the crumbs are done. And you should have enough to cover all 32 nuggets. I'll just show you that one more time. Okay, they've been in there for about 10 seconds. We're going to take them out. Drain them a little bit. Throw them into the crumbs. And then we're going to just toss them to coat. Here we go. Easy enough, right? I know you guys can handle this. And there we go. And then we still have another 2 batches to go, but we're not going to do them right now. Here's my towel. I'm going to just clean my hands off. So from here, these are going to go into a 400-degree oven for about 11 to 12 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. You don't want to overcook them too much because you don't want to dry the pretzels out. So when they come out of the oven, this is what they are going to look like. Everybody can see that. I'm going to give you a little close-up. So you can see right here. And there we go. They're the pretzels, those little pretzel nuggets covered with this really beautiful, crumbly sugar cookie crumbs and the sprinkles. They are just really delicious. They are better than the mall pretzels. I'm going to just give one. They've got that salty sweet thing going on. The salty pretzels with the sweet sugar cookie, and they're nice and chewy, the pretzels.
Oh, look delicious.
They really are delicious. Does anybody have any questions? We'll open it up to questions if anybody has any questions.
Well, Cindy was asking how long do you actually cook them?
So, Cindy asked how long to cook them.
Yes.
Put them in a 400-degree oven after you put the sprinkles on. They don't need to rest anymore. They can go directly in the oven, 400 degrees for about 11 to 12 minutes until they're nice, as you can see, golden brown right there. Oh my God, they're so good. And just another tip, they are best the day that they are baked. Like most pretzels, they don't carry over to the next day very well. They are better, baked the same day. So if you want to kind of prep the day before, you can make your cookie crumbs, just put them in an airtight container and hold them at room temperature. And you can make the dough the night before, let it rise for about 45 minutes, and then stick it in the refrigerator, and you can hold it there until the next day. And then you can continue on from there to make your better than mall sugar cookie sprinkle pretzel nuggets. I know it's a mouthful, but so are these.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, everybody, for joining me today on MARKET.live and on Instagram. And I will see you when I see you.
All righty.
Thanks, everybody.